Hi everyone, and welcome to another class on my YouTube channel, Tom Yoga Om. Today's class is going to be about opening the front and the back of the body, and we're going to be moving a little bit slower so as to really get the benefits of a deeper stretch out of the practice. I hope that by the end of the class you will have felt that though the class is a little bit slower in its movement, you've managed to get a lot of benefit out of it as a result. So let's get to it. We're going to begin by lying on our backs and just taking a moment to open the hips up. So you can bring your feet together, scoot your hips towards your heels, and just come all the way down onto your back. Bring your hands down onto your belly or onto the floor beside you, or one hand on the belly and the chest, and start to take some deep breaths in and out, inhaling and letting your hands rise up if they're on your body. And exhaling, feeling them soften as your body softens and you exhale. Keep the breath flowing in and out. And as you breathe here, just take a moment to make any adjustments you need to make to get comfortable. And just feel your body gently softening with each exhale, and on the inhales, just notice the breath flow all the way down into the belly and up into the chest, and get a sense of expansion and like an inner stretch happening on that breath in. Let's just take a couple more breaths like that. And as you breathe here, take a moment to notice your physical body. Do a scan from the fingers and toes all the way up to the top of the head. And notice how your body's feeling. Notice all the places your body feels tight or injured or sore, and breathe into them. And as you exhale, feel those spaces soften. Take 2 more rounds of breath like that. And then do another scan all the way from the fingers and the toes to the top of your head. And notice all the spaces on your body that feel open or spacious, that don't feel any of those, what we would associate typically with negative sensations. So notice all the places that feel good or open or relaxed. And see if you can breathe into those spaces over the next 3 breaths. We're going to be here for 5 more inhales and exhales. And as you breathe in now, I'd just like you to focus on your entire body. So notice the arms, the legs, the torso, the back, the head, every space in your body, and see if you can inhale into the whole, into all of you really, and feel all of you expand as you breathe in, and then feel all of you relax as you breathe out. Just take 5 more deep breaths in and out in that manner, and notice if you can inhale in a little bit deeper with each inhale and exhale to relax a little bit more with each exhale. Just a few more breaths here. And take one more round of breath. Finish off that exhale. And after you've done so, you can start to wriggle your fingers and your toes and reach your arms up to the sky or to the ceiling. Take a hold of your elbows, so hands onto the elbows, and just drop the arms back behind you. And now from this position, I'd like you to breathe into the front of the body. So breathe into the front of the pelvis, the hips, all the way up into the top of the belly, and up into the chest, feeling the whole front of the body. Lift up a little bit more as you inhale, stretching into the armpit area of the chest, maybe feeling a little bit of an opening in the upper back. And as you exhale, see if you can relax all the muscles that you feel are a little bit engaged right now. Just take one more round of breath like that. So inhaling into the front body and exhaling to relax it. And after your exhale, notice which hand is on top of the other, and just change the fold of your hands. And let's take 2 more rounds of breath here before we come up. And again, breathe into the front body and feel the front body stretch. Notice, does it feel tight or open or sore? And just feel that expansion happening, that stretching happening on the inhale, and the relaxation happening on the exhale. One more round of breath here. Good. And from here, start to wriggle your fingers and your toes. Take your hands underneath your legs and lift your legs together using a bit of arm strength. Sometimes the hips can get a bit sore when they're open for that long. So it's kind of good to use the arms to help yourself up. Okay, we're going to flow into a bridge pose from here. But before we do that, I'd like you to do something a little different. Let's bring the feet hip distance apart, and then take your hands onto the sides of your mat or your towel, whatever you're using, and grip onto the mat, and then press into the back of your head. Lift your upper back off the floor and squeeze your shoulder blades down towards your heels. Good. Keep them grounded there. Keep holding onto the mat, and as you're ready, breathe in and lift your hips up. And take your time to roll into that first one. Sometimes it can feel a little bit tight. From here, keep holding onto the mat and just feel your chest move towards your chin, and then move your chin up and away from your chest, kind of reaching the chin up to the ceiling. Holding here for 2 breaths. Squeeze your knees towards one another. This creates space in your lower back. And take 2 more rounds of breath here, lifting up as you breathe in and grounding down as you breathe out. Press down into your arms and your feet. 1 more breath here. And on your next breath in, lift up a little bit higher. And as you breathe out, roll your spine down and take your time coming all the way down onto your mat. And just notice how your body's feeling for this first stretch. Mine's feeling a little bit tight. Let's take 1 more round of breath like this. We're going to inhale and lift ourselves up. You can do the same thing with your hands, holding onto the sides of the mat. Or you can interlace your hands underneath you. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift yourself up into the tops of your shoulders and hold here. As you inhale, see if you can lift your hips up a little bit higher. Stretching into the fronts of the body. Keep those knees squeezing inwards. Take 1 more full round of breath here. You've got this. After the exhale, release your hands, press down into your hands, lift your hips up, breathing in. And as you breathe out, roll your spine down, nice and slow. And if you can, try and get each vertebra onto the floor one after the other. Nice. Hug your knees into your chest, give them a gentle squeeze. That feels good. And then circle your knees to massage your lower back a little bit. And circle them the other way. Keep breathing. And keep that flow of the breath moving down into the belly and up into the chest. And then when you're ready, you can come and bring your knees to a neutral position. Take your hands underneath your knees and just rock yourself up and down a couple of times. Depending on how stiff you are, you're going to feel a little bit more flexible or rigid as you do this. And when you're ready, just come to the top of the mat, cross your ankles over, and bring yourself to a comfortable seat. Cool. Take your hands onto your knees, and let's take a moment to ground into this position and to just still ourselves. So press down into your feet and your sitting bones and take a big breath into your belly and your chest. And as you exhale, feel your shoulders soften and your neck relax. Over the next 3 breaths as you inhale, I'd like you to think of reaching the top of your spine up. So think of extending and lengthening through the back of the neck, but not just lengthening through the back of the neck exclusively. Think of reaching like the top of your spine, which is the back of your neck, upwards. So you're stretching the whole spine from this space. Breathing in, and as you exhale, relax your neck, relax your shoulders, and relax the sides of your body. Take 2 more breaths like that. So inhaling, lengthening up, and exhaling, softening the sides of the body, the neck, the shoulders. 1 more. Good, and then you can slowly open your eyes, and when you're ready, we're just going to inhale and reach the belly forward, lift the chest forward, coming into a seated cow position. And as you exhale, round your back behind you and just draw your chin downwards, gently stretching into your spine. And do 2 more rounds of breath like that. So inhaling, gently opening up, and exhaling, rounding your back behind you. Last one, full breath in, and full breath out. We're going to do 2 more, but I'd like you to take it a little bit deeper. So as you inhale, lift up a little bit higher, sit up a little bit higher. Notice the contours of your spine and how they curve as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, let your back drop behind you a little bit more. Let your arms straighten and your chin draw down. Try to relax your shoulders. Feel how your spine changes shape. Last one, just breathing in and opening up. And breathing out, letting go. Good, and then bring yourself back to a neutral position. And from here, I'm just going to circle the shoulders, releasing the trapezius muscles. It's these guys here. And feeling a stretch happening in the neck and the shoulders, and just slowly releasing and letting go of the day or the night, depending on where you're at, and then just change directions. And just to open up into the back of the body now. You might hear your shoulders crunching and cracking. Mine definitely are right now. 1 more. And come back to a neutral position. Okay, from here we're going to take our right hand onto our left knee, left hand behind us, and just come into a gentle twist. And as you do this, so as not to let your whole body turn with you as you turn to that left side, I'd like you to press down into your feet and your sitting bones, lean a little more into your right sitting bone, and then to stretch into the neck, just look over towards your left shoulder. Take 2 rounds of breath here. As you exhale, if you want to stretch a little deeper, get a bit more out of that twist, press your right hand into your left knee and turn a little further. 1 more breath here. Good, and then turn your head to face forward, and from here, okay, in my yoga classes, a lot of people find this one a bit confusing, so I'll do it really slowly. We're going to turn our heads to face forward to the front of the mat. And then I'd like you to drop your right shoulder, the shoulder that's right in front of you, your right one, down towards your right knee. Still holding onto that left leg. So if you want, have a look at me doing it. I'm going to drop the right shoulder down towards the right knee, and you should feel a stretch in the left side of your lower back. That's what we're going for. You can take that left hand onto your lower back and just take 2 deep breaths down into the belly and into that left side. Exhale, relax and soften. One more. And then press into your feet to lift yourself up. And just change sides. So left hand onto your right knee, right hand comes behind you and twisting to the left side, pressing down to the feet, the sitting bones, and looking towards that right shoulder to stretch into the neck. Ground into the left sitting bone a little more if you can. Take 2 rounds of breath. Drop your shoulders down. One more. And from here, keep your body in the twist, just turn your head to face forward. And then that shoulder that's right in front of you, in this case it's your left one, we're dropping the left shoulder down to the left knee. There you go. And we're stretching, we're focusing on the right side of our lower back and the right side of our body. So just breathe into that space. And as you exhale, feel it soften. One more round of breath here. And soften. Good, then press into your feet and slowly lift yourself up. Now for this one, I'm going to face the front of my mat, as you are already doing, I expect. And we're going to come into fire log pose, and this is a really nice stretch for the sides of the legs and into the lower back and the glutes. For fire log pose, it's just a seated position, but then your shin bones, your tibias, are brought parallel to the front of your mat. So a little bit more square to the front of the mat rather than being tucked in. Okay, and then once you're ready from here, because we're still a little bit tight in the legs, I'd like you to inhale, lift your belly and your chest up. And as you exhale, let yourself pivot and tilt from the hips, and then bring your hands down onto the floor. Once you start to feel the stretch in your lower back, draw your chin down and take 2 deep breaths. You should feel the stretch in the outsides of the feet and in the outsides of the glutes. One more breath. Just feel yourself soften and relax. And then walk your hands back towards you as you breathe in. And change the fold of your legs. So notice which one's in front of the other. Swap them over. And ground down. Bring your shins parallel to the top of the mat. Inhale to breathe into the belly and the chest. And as you exhale, tilt from the hips. Forward, 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 forward. And when you feel the stretch, bring your hands onto the floor. Draw your chin down and take 2 deep breaths in and out. And notice what it feels like to move slower and to not dive into it. I guess I would classify most of my classes as being relatively slow. One more breath here. But how does it make you feel to move slow? Does it bring something up for you? Do you get frustrated? I've got a sister who doesn't like slow classes, which I totally understand. But I feel like it's more of a mental challenge as well as a physical one if you do it in that slower manner. But what do you think? When you're ready, walk your hands back towards you. And from here, we're just going to rock ourselves forward onto our hands and knees, come up into a tabletop position. From this tabletop position, just start to press down into your hands, your knees, your feet, and lift once again that front body that we breathed into at the start of the class. Lift that up towards the ceiling. So you should feel your back lift up from between your shoulder blades. Turn the crease of your elbows to face forward and bend your elbows towards your hips, towards your knees, your hips, right? And then from here, press that back up towards the ceiling by lifting the front body. Take 2 deep breaths into the back. Keep the breath nice and long. One more here. And when you're ready, we're going to inhale and just drop down into 3 cat-cow. So when you're ready, just roll that belly down, open your chest up. Notice the curvature of your spine. And as you exhale, roll your back the other way. Press into your hands, your knees, and your feet, and draw your chin inwards. Keep breathing. Opening up. And exhaling to press away from you. See if you can press into your hands and your knees and your feet and empty your lungs of air. And last one, full breath in. And a full breath out. Good, and then come back to a neutral position. And from here, we're going to extend our right leg back behind us. And I want you to move the heel forwards and backwards to stretch into your hamstring, stretching into the back of the leg. And then I want you to bend your back knee a little bit and keep doing the same movement. And you'll notice, hopefully, that you stretch into your Achilles, which is this bit here. Alrighty. It's like the lower part of the calf. Alright, and from this position, I want you to press down into your hands, lift your front body up to the ceiling again. So you're lifting your whole body up really to the ceiling again. And then we're going to take our right leg and our right foot and place it onto the outside of the left leg, like so. Good. Can you press evenly into both hands? So feel the weight under both hands. Press down into them evenly. And then look over your left shoulder towards that extended leg. Breathe into the right side of the body and feel that lateral stretch, that side stretch as you inhale. And as you exhale, you might like to kick that right leg back a little further. Twist to look a little deeper. One more breath here. And on your next breath in, just bring that right leg back to center and bring the knee down onto the floor. Extend your left leg out and move the heel forwards and backwards. Inhaling and exhaling. And then bend your back knee and move the heel forwards and backwards. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Noticing if the sides of your body feel different. And then press that left heel back behind you, so a nice strong left leg, and bring the left leg to the outside of your right leg. Good. Kick the heel away from you, and before you turn, press into your hands a little more evenly. Then look towards your right leg, your left leg, that extended leg. So looking over that right shoulder, pressing into the hands evenly, and this time breathing into the left side of the body. 2 breaths. Feel that nice stretch opening up in the rib cage. Feeling the stretch soften as you exhale. One more round here. And when you're ready, bring the leg back to center. And from here, just bring yourself back onto your heels. Walk your hands back towards your ankles and lift your knees off the floor to stretch the fronts of your feet. And then lower down. As we inhale, we're going to rock back and lift the legs up again, the knees up again. And exhale, lower down. And one more round here, inhaling, lifting up. And exhaling, lowering down. Good. Come back onto your hands and your knees, tabletop position. And again, lift the front body up towards the ceiling, pressing the space between the shoulders upwards. Then step your right leg back and engage the muscles of your right thigh. Press your right heel back behind you, and then do the same thing with your left leg coming back into a plank. Good, and let's take 3 deep breaths in and out. Big breaths in and out. Keep pressing the heels back, keep the thighs engaged. We've got one more round of breath here. After that exhale, I want you to press back into your down dog, and just be careful with your hamstrings. So take a full breath in, a full breath out, and press back slowly. Pressing into the hands, finding the strength in your arms, and then start to pedal your knees out left to right. Got a really squeaky mat. Alrighty, and when you're ready, take a full breath in, lift your hips and your heels up off the floor. And as you exhale, ground your heels down. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath like that. Inhale, lifting the heels up. And exhale, grounding down. And one more full breath in, lifting up. And as you exhale, ground them down and send your hips backwards by pressing into your hands and your arms. Good. Next breath in, we're going to inhale, lift the hips up off the floor and keep the hips as high as you can as you roll forward into a plank position. And as you exhale, start by lifting the hips up and reaching them back into your downward facing dog. 2 more rounds of breath here. So inhale, lifting the hips up, keeping them high as you roll forward. Pressing down into the hands, lifting the front body up, and exhale, lift the hips up and reach your hips back. Good, one more here, you got this. Breathing in. And breathing out. Nice, and then bend your knees left to right and slowly make your way forward to the top of your mat into Uttanasana. As you inhale, bring your hands to your thighs, halfway lift as you breathe in. And as you exhale, bend your knees, fold yourself all the way down. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw your chin towards your neck to keep your spine nice and long and reach out through the top of your head, through the top of your neck. And exhale, bend the knees and fold. One more here, breathing in. And breathing out, bending our knees and folding down. Good, then press into your feet and take your time to ragdoll your body up to standing. So that means like rolling the spine up vertebrae by vertebrae. And just as you were focused on bringing the weight evenly in the hands before, notice the weight in your feet. Can you keep the weight even between left and right foot, toes and heels? And once you're ready to stand up fully, lift your arms to the ceiling as you breathe in. And breathe out, bring your hands down through to your heart center. 2 more rounds of breath. Breathing in, lifting up. And breathing out, bringing the hands down. Last one, full breath in. And full breath out. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, bend your knees and fold yourself all the way down. Inhale for your halfway lift. Hands to the thighs or the shins this time. And as you exhale, fold down, plant your hands on the floor, step back into your plank and hold here for 3 breaths. Extend out through the fingers. Press the heels back behind you. And just hold here and keep lifting that front body up. If you want to challenge yourself, slow down your exhale a little more. Lift up a little higher with the back. 1 more full round of breath. Slow exhale. Good, and then take a full breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to either drop your knees or come all the way down onto your belly, but do so as slow as you can. Really, 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 really slow. Good. Come all the way down onto your belly, hands underneath your shoulders, press your feet into the floor. Inhale to lift your chest up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, Cobra. And as you exhale, roll down. Good. This time as you lift up, draw your chin in towards your neck and keep it there, breathing in, lifting up. So that you're lengthening through the back of the neck. And then exhale, lower down. And on this last one, it feels a little funny to say, but you get it once you find that these words make sense. I want you to inhale and reach your chest forward. So as you breathe in, reach your chest forward. And you'll feel the stretch and the curvature moving more into the upper back, which is what we want. And then exhale, lower down. Good. Inhale to power yourself up to plank or tabletop. And then exhale to meet back in down dog. Bend your knees left to right once you get here. And on your next breath in, inhale, lift your hips and your heels up off the floor. And as you exhale, ground them down. Draw your hips back. Good. Next breath in, lift your left leg up. Full breath in. As you exhale, step the foot forward to the top of the mat. Drop your back knee to the ground and take your left hand between your legs. Walk it as far back behind you as you can. And if you want, you can stay here and just lift your front body up. Or you can lift the back knee up off the floor and you feel a nice deep stretch into your back. Take 2 breaths in and out here. Feel the stretch in your back. And then slowly drop that back knee to the floor. Inhale to sweep your arms up. Interlace your fingers and place your hands onto the back of your neck. And as you breathe in, draw your elbows out wide, cup the back of your neck, and sink your head back into your hands, your neck back into your hands. 2 breaths here. Breathe into the front body. Exhale to soften. Doing a little back bendy shape here. 1 more. Next breath in, reach your arms up. And as you breathe out, extend your hands forward and down onto the floor. Good. If you've got bricks, which I just happen to have here, very conveniently, lift yourself up into this half Hanumanasana shape. And if you don't have bricks, come here all the same, but just place your hands onto your hips or onto that left thigh. And when you're ready, take a breath into the belly and the chest. And when you're ready, exhale, reach the belly and the chest forward. And take your hands onto the bricks or onto your thigh. And then draw the chin down towards your chest. And just hold here for 3 breaths. Feel yourself stretching into the hamstring. If you need something a little further here, you can engage the muscles of your left thigh and draw your left toes back towards you. If you want something deeper still, just move your hips from side to side. Stretch into your hamstring. Just enjoy that stretch as you exhale and inhale. And take 1 more round of breath here. See if you can expand on that breath in and soften on the breath out. Well done. On your next breath in, bend the front knee. Take the bricks out in front of you. And place your hands down onto the floor. We're going to step back into our plank pose and hold for 3 breaths. Lift the front body up towards the ceiling. Slow down the exhale. 2 more. Last one. And then take a full breath in. Lift the back up a little bit higher. And as you exhale, lower yourself down as slow as you can. And even if you're using the knees or not, I don't want you to try and keep your elbows above your wrists. We're kind of stacking. Lengthen out through the top of the neck as you bring yourself all the way down onto your belly. Going to do the same thing here that we did last time because it's important to practice. Take your hands under your shoulders, press your feet down. Inhale, lift your chest up. Draw your chin in towards your neck. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and reach your chest forward. Exhale, lower down. 2 more. Inhale, lifting up. Feet, shoulder blades, chin to neck, chest forward. Exhale, lower down. And on this last one, just really breathe it in. And exhale, lower down. Good. Tuck your toes under. Press yourself up into a plank or tabletop, breathing in. And exhale back to downward facing dog. On your next breath in, lift your hips and your heels up off the floor. As you exhale, ground your heels down, send your hips back. Good. Inhale, lift your right leg up, breathe it in. As you exhale, send the foot forward to the top of the mat. Good. Drop your back knee to the ground and then take your right hand between your right foot and your left knee. So between the legs and all the way back behind you. Come up onto the right fingertips. Either stay here and press your back up to the ceiling or tuck the back toes under and lift the front body up to the ceiling. Take 2 deep breaths in and out. Last one, full breath in and a full breath out. Good, then drop that back knee to the floor, sweep your arms up as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, interlace your fingers, bring them onto the back of your head this time and sink your hips down. As you inhale, open your arms up, lift the front of your body forward. And as you breathe out, draw your elbows together, tuck your chin in and round your back behind you. 2 more, inhaling, opening up. And exhaling, bringing it together. Last one in this cat-cow movement. Feel your spine. Inhaling, opening up, and exhaling, bringing it together. Good, then inhale to reach and extend your arms up. And as you exhale, bring your hands down. Take those bricks if you've got them handy. Extend your right leg out in front of you and bring the bricks either side of your right knee, or take your hands to your hips or your thigh. And as you breathe into your belly and your chest. And as you breathe out, reach them forward. And when you feel that stretch in your hamstring, hold there. Just drop your chin down and just breathe. There's nothing more that you need to do. And I think this is like the big test of yoga, is doing these slow movements, maybe not going down as far as we want to, but just taking our time to feel the stretch and be with it instead. Last one. Good, and when you're ready, you can just bend that front knee, take the bricks out in front of you, and from here just step back into your plank. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, press those heels back, engage the thighs. Let's take this last round of planks here. Full breath in, a full breath out, and one more after this. Take a full breath in, and a full breath out. Lower yourself down nice and slow onto your belly, onto your chest. And this time we're just going to do one cobra. We're inhaling, lifting up. And as you exhale, reach your chest forward and roll it down nice and slow. Good. Press yourself up to plank or tabletop as you inhale. And exhale back to down dog. Almost there. Lift your right leg up as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, step it forward to the top of the mat. Whoops. And from here, we're just going to walk our hands over to the left side of our mat, coming into a wide-legged stance. Press your feet down into the floor and see if you can turn your toes inwards to begin with. So pressing down, turning the toes inwards, hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale for a halfway lift. And as you exhale, bend your knees and just fold yourself down. Let your neck and your shoulders soften. And take 3 deep breaths. Good. Inhale into your halfway lift. And then place your right hand between your directly underneath your chest. We're going to inhale, lift the left arm up, take a full breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to place your left hand onto your lower back and just come into a twist here. See if you can see if you can lift your left hand up off of your lower back and reach it back behind you as far as you can. So back in the direction of your hips, and try to look up towards the ceiling. Good. Take one more full round of breath here. If your neck hurts when you look up, then look down at the floor or to the side of the room. Take one more full breath here, and exhale, place your left hand down onto the floor. Good. Lift your right arm up, breathing in. And as you breathe out, place your right hand onto your lower back and then extend your hand out as far as you can. Keep reaching it back behind you. Take 2 breaths here. And last one, full breath in and a full breath out. Good. Place your right hand up as you inhale, and as you exhale, float it down. Take a hold of your elbows and just let your body hang for 3 breaths. Relaxing and releasing into the shoulders and the neck, letting the spine unravel. You can sway your arms from side to side. Do a couple of yeses and nos with your head. And after your exhale, bring your hands down onto the floor. From here, we're going to heel toe our feet towards one another. And then turn our toes out and drop our heels down. Good. Coming into your Malasana, your yogi squat. This is like the last little pose we're going to do here today, last little asana. We're going to take our arms onto the insides of our knees, draw our palms together, and then gently press your knees into one another. Press your arms outwards, bring your hands through to heart center, and take 3 deep breaths in and out. See if you can feel your hips soften as you breathe here. And take one more full round of breath. Good. Then really slowly release your hands down to the floor and bring yourself down onto your sitting bones. Extend your legs out in front of you. Draw the toes back towards you, coming into staff pose Dandasana. We're going to bring our arms beside us and press our hands down into the floor, fingertips pointing forward. As you breathe in, draw your toes back towards you, engage the muscles of your thighs. And as you breathe out, point your toes forward. And breathing in, drawing back. And breathing out, pointing forward. And last one, full breath in. And breathing out, pointing those toes. Good. Then bring your feet flat onto the floor. Scoot your hips towards your heels. And really slowly think of extending and rolling your spine down onto the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way down. You'll need to move your arms to get onto the floor. Hug your knees into your chest. Give them a gentle squeeze. And then release your legs to a 90-degree angle. Bring your arms out beside you. And drop your knees down to the right side. Good. See if you can turn your head to look towards your left elbow. And while it's easy to kind of relax and rest here, let's just take 3 deep breaths into the belly and the chest. And bring a little bit of intention into that inhale. Once again, giving it the purpose to expand and open our body. And giving the exhale the purpose to relax it and soften it. 2 more. Last one. Good. Bring your knees back to center, inhaling in. And drop your knees down to the other side. Just going to shuffle over here so my knees don't disappear off the screen. Then look over towards your right arm if you can help it. And take 3 purposeful and intentional breaths in and out. Just notice and pay attention to how your spine feels, how the muscles of your back feel. And how the rest of your body feels. And then really gently you can lift your knees back to center. Give them one more squeeze into the chest. We've got one last asana here, one last position, one last pose. We're going to drop our left foot down to the floor, take our right ankle onto our left knee, and then take our hands behind our left leg and draw the left leg in close. And you can deepen the stretch if you'd like by pressing your right elbow into your right leg. Take 2 deep breaths in and out. One more. Good, and then release your feet down to the ground, to the floor. Then bring the left ankle onto the right knee and draw the right leg in close. And you can bring your left elbow and press it into the left leg to deepen the stretch. And take 2 rounds of breath. Good. And once you've exhaled for that second time, just release your legs down to the floor and slowly extend them out onto the mat. And for today's Shavasana, we could integrate, if you'd like, the movement we practiced at the start of the class, which is to take the hands to the side of the mat, hold on to the side of the mat, press into your head, lift your back up off the floor, and slide your shoulders towards your hips before placing yourself down. You can come into your Shavasana, your corpse pose, your relaxation pose. We'll just be here for 1 to 2 minutes at the very most. And just take some time to settle yourself in. And place one hand onto your belly, one hand onto your chest. And take 5 deep breaths in and out. Feeling yourself soften as you exhale. Relax as you exhale, melt as you exhale. As you breathe in, feel your chest and your belly expand. Breathe all the way up to the top of your neck, all the way down to the bottom of your pelvis, and exhale to soften. For these last 3, you can keep breathing through your nostrils, or if you'd like, you can exhale out of your mouth. So inhaling normally for everyone. And exhaling. 2 more. One more. And then find a flow to your breath. Take 5 more breaths in a way that serves you. Notice how your mind feels after moving your body a little slower in today's class. I guess it's all relative though, hey? And just feel your body relax and find that physical stillness, and hopefully you can find that mental stillness and calmness as a result. You can stay here if you'd like, or you can start to wriggle your fingers and your toes and circle your wrists and your ankles. And when and if you're ready, you can take a full breath in, reach your arms back behind you, stretch your toes out, and then hug your knees onto your chest. Lift your chin up off the floor and squeeze yourself into a small ball before rolling over onto your right side. Just taking a breath in and out here. Relaxing for a moment longer. And then press down into the floor, lift yourself up to a comfortable seat. And take a moment to ground down into the feet and the sitting bones. Inhale to lift your arms up. Exhale your hands down through to your heart center. And let's close with 3 final breaths here. Just noticing the spine, the body and the breath. And feeling hopefully a sense of stillness and peace and calmness in the mind. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope that you found the slow class was beneficial to you in helping you to get a little bit deeper, a little bit more open in your postures, in your asanas. Wish you all the best and hope to see you again. Namaste.